Hello and welcome to today's Focus on the Test mini lesson. Welcome to all of our subscribers and thank you very much for joining us. Also to our students, continue the excellent progress that you're making and remember that your labor is not in vain. It will pay off in the end. If you're an adult seeking to earn your high school credential, be sure to check out our website at www.yourpathforadultlearners.com where you can learn more about our online GED and HiSET program. So now on to our lesson for the day. So now here's what a test item may look like, and for today we're actually going to be addressing two test items for social studies. So the directions read questions 16 and 17 are based on the advertisement below. So here we're going to use this image here of spring aftershave to actually address items 16 and 17. For item 16, we have this ad attempts to sell spring aftershave by emphasizing its, and here you have your four options. You have option A, effectiveness, B, popularity, C, value, and D, appealing fragrance. And then we have item number 17, which states, on the basis of this ad, which of the following conclusions is the most reasonable? And here we have our four options as well. We have A, some men prefer spring to other aftershave products. B, 70% of all men use spring. C, 3 out of 10 men prefer no aftershave product. And D, all men use aftershave products. So now in order to answer test items 16 and 17, you want to make sure that you thoroughly review the content of your ad, okay? So here we have spring aftershave, which we know is our title. And then at the very bottom, we have our caption that tells us more information about our ad, okay? And here we have survey results show 7 out of 10 men prefer spring to other aftershave products. So we know that this was a survey that was conducted, and these are the results, on 10 men, and out of those 10 men, 7 of the men preferred spring aftershave over the other aftershave products that were being used in the survey. So once you have thoroughly familiarized yourself with your ad, now you're ready to answer your test items, okay? So when we look at test item 16, we have this ad attempts to sell spring aftershave by emphasizing its, and here you have your four options. When we look at option A, we have effectiveness. But when we come back here to our ad, we know that it doesn't discuss effectiveness or the effectiveness of this product, okay, in terms of the survey that was conducted, okay? So the survey was not looking at the effectiveness of this product in comparison with other aftershave products, okay? It was looking at these men's preference for aftershave over the other aftershave products that were being used. So in terms of A, we can actually eliminate it because we know that it doesn't apply. So now let's look at option B. Option B is popularity. Well, we know that when we discuss popularity, we're talking about something that is more liked or more favored, okay? So in terms of the survey that was conducted, it is looking at men's preference of spring aftershave over the other aftershave products. And we know that 7 of these men liked spring aftershave more so than they liked the other aftershave products, or they favored it more, okay? And so in terms of option B being our correct choice, we know that it is, okay? So now when we look at options C and D, we can also eliminate these two options because C talks about the value of the product and D talks about the appealing fragrance. And neither one of these components were actually being surveyed in terms of the survey that was conducted, okay? We know that we were looking at the preference, or these men's preference, their choice or their favor of spring aftershave in comparison to the other aftershave products that were being used. So we can eliminate options C and D as well. So now that we have answered test item 16, we're now ready to go on to test item 17. Okay? Once again, you want to use the information that's given to you in the ad in order to answer your test item. So here we have, on the basis of this ad, which of the following conclusions is the most reasonable? So we're going to highlight the word conclusion because that's our keyword here. We're going to draw a reasonable conclusion based on the evidence that has been presented to us, okay? So when we look at option A, we have some men prefer spring to other aftershave products. Well, we know that that is a true statement because 7 out of the 10 men, they do prefer spring aftershave over the other products, and 7 is some. Okay, so this is a true statement. So we're going to hold on to option A. Let's look at option B. It says 70% of all men use spring. Well, we do know that the 10 men make up the total population of the men that were surveyed, or the total sample, which would be 100%. And 7 out of 10 would be 70%. However, what makes this statement invalid is that it states of all men. And we know that all men were not surveyed, okay? And so therefore, in terms of option B, we cannot draw a reasonable conclusion based on this information, okay? So we're going to eliminate option B. When we look at option C, we have 3 out of 10 men preferred no aftershave product. Well, we know that the 3 men who did not choose spring aftershave, they did have the option of choosing other aftershave products that were being used in the survey. So in terms of us being able to draw this as a reasonable conclusion, we cannot, because the other men could have chosen one of the other products. So 3 out of 10 men prefer no aftershave products. We're going to eliminate option C because we cannot draw this as a reasonable conclusion. When we look at option D, we have all men use aftershave products. Well, we do not know this to be true because it states all men. And there could be some men who do not use any aftershave product, okay? So in terms of option D, we're going to eliminate option D as well because we cannot draw this as a reasonable conclusion. So having eliminated options B, C, and D, we know that option A is the correct choice. And it is a conclusion in which we can draw because some men, which represents 7 out of the 10, prefer spring to other aftershave products. So now I do hope that this lesson was beneficial for you. And what are some takeaways from this particular lesson? The first thing that you want to do is to make sure that you read your content material, okay? So familiarize yourself with that information before you attempt to answer your test items. And then once you've done that, now you're ready to review your test items. Okay, always reread your question as well as your options. And then you want to choose the option that is most related to your text. So you want to make sure that you depend on your text to answer your question. Okay, so that you're able to eliminate the other options that do not apply, as we have done here. So good luck testing. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button down below so that you're notified on our new releases. Also, join us on our other social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.